Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of Sunrise and Sunset, the podcast where it is not only appropriate to geek out, it's also strongly recommended. I'm Skylar Clark Kent, your host, and I'm sitting here with my co-host,
Jonathan Dowden.
I almost said co-host for the 4th week in a row, but you know what? You're just here all the time. You're just officially a co-host.
I live here for like...
I'm fine with that. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
So, okay, I got some good news and some... It's still kind of good news, but good news is we got a lot of news this week. Got a lot of stuff to cover.
Okay.
Bad news is that kind of cuts into the... I did promise last week that we were going to do 3 superhero movies and discuss whether or not they sucked. We had to cut that down to 1 because we have a lot of news to cover, and we're probably going to have a lot to talk about with this particular movie.
Yeah,
probably. It's Green Lantern, just to let you guys know.
And for everyone listening, I watched Green Lantern for the first time last night.
Really?
So,
You've never seen it before?
I hadn't. And I heard everyone hated it, and I was like, I have opinions on it, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Also, more good news. No one died this week.
That's awesome.
I'm
glad to hear no one died.
No, people in geek culture died. I'm sure tons of people probably died, but
no one important.
No one important. Okay.
A father of a family of 4 and just, murdered on the street. It's like no one important.
Oh, no.
We're terrible.
Well, that kid will someday grow up to be Batman, so it's okay.
Yeah, see? Halfway to Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's get into the news. I want to find something to call the news segment. I was thinking of the Gotham Gazette.
Gotham Gazette.
And I'm sure it's probably taken. Someone's probably using it in a different podcast, but damn it, until we get a cease and desist, I'm going with it. So that being said, let's jump into the Gotham Gazette. Let's geek out. A few of these stories were I actually should have talked about last week, but I completely forgot. The first one we have is Spider-Man, possible Spider-Man details for Civil War. We know he's going to be in it at this point. We just didn't know in what capacity. Apparently, possible spoiler alert. We don't know if this is true or not. Apparently, Tony Stark might be building Spider-Man's web shooters.
Well, I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm
completely okay with it. But apparently it starts off, Peter Parker's just kind of being like a vigilante, just sort of, fighting crime around the city. And there's no real details, but through, some cause of the plot, he meets up with Tony Stark, and Tony Stark kind of takes him under his wing and builds him the shooters. Yeah,
because, what's not explored about Peter Parker, because he's not only a wonderful action star, he's really good with his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And so is Tony, so that'd be an interesting relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Although, the characters, I don't think, like, in the comics, they don't get along that well, because Peter isn't all too involved with the Avengers.
Well, and they're both so much alike, I think. I think, Tony is kind of like... Tony is what would happen if Peter Parker someday grew up and became an alcoholic, I think. And just became cynical about the world.
It felt like whenever they told Tony, it's like, we're going to give you alcoholism. Like, they were just like, we have to give you something bad. Mm-hmm. Like, something has to torture you on the inside. So, alcohol, that'll do it.
Yeah. Interesting thing. I'm going to get slightly sidetracked here, but we'll get back on track. Realize how people are always complaining about how characters are changed from the comic books to the movies.
Yeah.
From what I have seen, and granted, I forgot to preface this earlier, I'm not a comic book aficionado. I normally have a little spiel that I go on every week about how I've picked up a very small handful of comic books in my life. I don't really know that much. So at any point, if you're sitting there thinking, why does it sound like this asshole has no idea what he's talking about? It's just that. It's really, I don't. But that being said, from what I have seen in the comics, the Tony Stark in the comics is almost nothing like the Tony Stark in the movies.
Yeah, he's
in the comics, he seems to be so much more serious and so much more tragic.
Yeah.
Whereas Robert Downey Jr., he has one of my favorite moments in Age of Ultron is the very beginning when they're trying to get Loki's scepter back. And he's like pushing up against the walls and he goes, please be a trapdoor, please be a trapdoor, please be a trapdoor. Yay! It's so amazing.
He's so childish.
He's so charming. I love him so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, does not seem to be at all like he is in the comics, and people still love it.
He's like he is almost the Marvel version of Batman, except Moonlight's sort of the Marvel version of Batman. So, but when it comes to like how he works on the inside, he's supposed to be very brooding and serious all the time, and like hints how he can get started with a war with his best friend and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh well, yes, of course I would.
Man, we're gonna get 2 movies next year about a billionaire fighting with his superhero best friend.
You're right. You're right. And
Well, to be fair, they're not best friends in Batman v Superman. Not yet.
They will
Not yet.
be.
It's gonna be great.
My mom's convinced that they're gay lovers.
That's right. We talked about that last week. We just I want the last shot of the movie to be them just leaning in for the kiss, and then they black out. And the credits start rolling. Oh, that'd be absolutely incredible.
Fan fictions would go awry.
Oh my god. Jumping into some more Marvel. What do you think about the Hulk? You like the Hulk? Would you like to see him in Guardians of the Galaxy too?
I want to see him in his own standalone movie again, with fighting the leader. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But I can work with him in Guardians of the Galaxy because he's a fantastic character, and everyone forgets that.
Well, too bad because he's not in it.
What?
Yeah. James Gunn officially put it out. He was doing a Q&A on Twitter. His official comment, I will comment on it now, as I've done before. There is zero chance you will see Hulk in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yeah. Mark Ruffalo was also supposed to be in Civil War, but he was cut. And
he wasn't involved in Civil War.
Yeah, and
comics.
To that he said they don't want to reveal where he is and why. I don't even know if Hulk will be back soon.
Well,
poor Mark Ruffalo. Oh my god, he's the best Hulk that we've had so far.
He's a fantastic actor as well.
He makes the character so tragic.
He really does.
But he's not whiny about it.
You're right. It's like
that's not to say the other two are whiny either, because I haven't seen the other two in forever.
Oh, Tony's super whiny.
I mean like the other Hulks.
Oh, okay.
Because whenever I do a Marvel marathon before a new movie comes out, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I skip the Incredible Hulk because I really don't care.
The one with Mark Ruffalo, or
no,
the 2002
Edward Norton
one.
Edward Norton. Yeah, the one where Tony Stark shows up in the end credit sequence.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe I need to watch it again, but the first time I watched it, I was so bored.
It just wasn't
and
that
whoever
good.
the guy was that became the Abomination, I feel like he didn't have any motivation whatsoever. Someone later went on to tell me that somewhere in the movie he mentions that the Hulk killed his brother or something like that. And I thought, like, I don't remember that at all. If they did say that, they glossed over it.
Yeah.
I just remember, like, this guy, like, just chasing him and, like, what is this dickhead's problem?
And the Hulk, the better one, it's very clear what everyone's motivations are. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I mean, Abomination was like, yeah, I'm going to kill you. Why? Because I'm a psychopath.
Moving on, we got some possible new set photos of X-Men Apocalypse. And I don't know if you saw the ones that were officially posted with Entertainment Weekly, where people were not too happy with the way Apocalypse looked.
Oh?
Did you see those?
I did not.
Okay, well that's good, because I had them saved right here. I'll try and put them up on the video, add some extra multimedia into this.
Doing this is great because I get all of my information from you, and I don't have to even try.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, so that's the first picture that they put up of Apocalypse.
He looks old.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if you say what I think you're gonna say.
No,
what do you think he looks?
Shriveled?
Does he look like someone to you?
Oh no, he looks like Darth Sidious. He looks like the Emperor from
Okay, a little bit. I was waiting. The big joke the next day was that he looks like Ivan Ooze.
He does.
He really does. And of course there was a lot of backlash, as there always is anytime there's something different done to the character. And now fans are cheering because they're claiming that they have made Fox change their minds and go with a completely different redesign, which is this. And from what I've seen, that is closer to the comic book.
That looks a lot better.
However, what I'm going to say, I think that people are thinking too highly of themselves. I really think that, because the first one was a set photo.
Yeah.
So it was before any special effects were added. It was, not professional. Well, not professional. It wasn't shooting lighting.
Yeah.
And it was before all the CG and stuff. I think people are taking a little too much credit.
Well, yeah. Maybe.
It doesn't hurt anybody, so why not think what you gotta think? But we also got
I think we should give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Go nerds, y'all did it.
Yeah. We also have looks at Psylocke and Archangel. I don't know anything about these characters, but they look cool. They look pretty cool.
Well, Archangel is an X-Men, and he was.
Well, I'm gonna bring out a little bit of my geek cred.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the Four Horsemen, wasn't he?
For a little bit, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, because Apocalypse brings in some of the X-Men to be Four Horsemen. If I'm not mistaken, Wolverine was one of them at one point.
I can't. I watched something on this because I was curious, and I don't remember Wolverine being one of the X-Men. No, one of the.
Well, because people are thinking. Because remember, spoiler alert for Days of Future Past. He essentially retcons everything.
Yeah,
at the very end, X-Men Origins no longer exists. Thank God. X3, The Last Stand, no longer exists. but he comes back, and if I remember right, he doesn't have his adamantium claws anymore.
No, he doesn't. You're right.
So what people are kind of speculating is that maybe he's going to get involved with Apocalypse somehow. I don't see this happening because I don't see that being in his character motivation, but people are thinking he's going to somehow get involved with Apocalypse, be taken over by him, and that's how he's going to get his adamantium claws back, which would be awesome. I don't see it as his MO, but
I think for Archangel, he actually, I think this happened. I'm not sure. At one point, he lost his wings, and Apocalypse gave him adamantium wings. I think that was a thing that happened.
God. I just cummed unassistedly. Oh my lord. That is so cool. Yeah. Explicit tag, by the way. Yeah, when I find out how to put...
too late for that one.
Yeah, when I put this up on iTunes, I'm going to have to make sure to put that in. We're not nearly as bad as, like, say, Kevin Smith's podcast, but we get a little raunchy here. You know, just a warning.
Yeah.
One last photo that we got is photos of young Jean Grey, young Nightcrawler, and young Cyclops, which are these people right here.
All right. Oh, okay.
I thought this was really cool. This made me even more excited. Young Jean Grey is Sansa from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, that works out well.
I like that. That's a really good casting choice.
I automatically feel very, very sorry for the person who's playing Nightcrawler because they have way too much makeup.
Oh,
the reason that Nightcrawler didn't come back in the third one is because the makeup was just too much.
Yeah, yeah. And I haven't seen X2 in years, but I remember liking it.
No, I think
good. That's widely known to be the best one.
Yeah, because you had the first one, which was like, and the second one, which was like,
do you want to know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else. Oh my! What? Oh my god. Okay, moving on. I, at the last minute, decided that I wasn't going to put this in, and then immediately decided after watching it that we were going to put it back in. Go watch this immediately after you're done with this. There's a mashup of the Avengers Age of Ultron done in the style of Power Rangers Zeo. It works so perfectly.
It really does. It's like, for example, if you take the beginning songs for some series and mix them up, like Lost and Friends, if you switch them, it works really well. Surprisingly. And it's crazy.
Oh, it's great. It brought back a lot of nostalgia, even though I didn't watch Zeo. I didn't know the theme song had the Mighty Morphin theme mixed into it. That makes me kind of want to see it just for the theme song.
It makes you want to watch Mighty Morphin again.
It's so metal.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It holds up. Speaking of metal theme songs, I've been spending the last 3 days just like looping Rock the Dragon over and over again. It's so cool. It's so awesome.
There's a play that came out. It was called Book of Mormon. You heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At one point, there's a song called Spooky Mormon Hell Dream. And it is as silly as it sounds, but at one point, it has this, like, badass guitar shred in the middle. And you're like, I need to listen to this again.
Oh, my God.
For a theatrical performance, this is pretty badass.
Right. I gotta look into that. Okay, moving on, we have something that I was hoping you knew more about, because I don't know anything.
Okay.
We have the trailer, the first teaser for Jessica Jones, the Netflix series. 13 1-hour-long episodes are going to be released on Netflix November 20th, which is awesome. I like that they're doing that. They're just releasing it so you can binge watch it. I need to finish Daredevil. It was my intention to binge watch it, but I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Here's what I
need to catch up.
Here's what they need to start doing. For when it comes to Netflix, I would give everyone an entire season. Like, film an entire, and then release it episode by episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
on TV?
Well, no, on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Like, because you have them hooked then. They want more.
Yeah,
and they can only get it like once a week, and they're going to come back for their fix. It's like heroin.
Mm-hmm.
They're dealing heroin to us.
Oh, yeah. And I know they're doing this. They're doing Daredevil first. Jessica Jones is next. I think Luke Cage is after that.
Okay.
And then Iron Fist, and they're all going to come together on The Defenders.
All right. That's pretty cool.
I'm interested. I'll throw in a little the link to the video. We watched like a little... It was an 18-minute video. We watched like the first 5 minutes because the guy's voice was putting me to sleep. But, we kind of got a gist for the character. She seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, we got up to the point, like, origin story part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like...
Radioactive chemicals.
Yeah, radioactive chemicals and car crash. So, basic, just superhero reboot button. and
last time I jumped into radioactive waste, that didn't happen. I'm dying.
You have leukemia. Why does everyone else get badass superpowers? I'm surprised. Like,
you remember when
kids-
Adam West did that in Family Guy? I was trying to get superpowers. Well, that wasn't smart.
I'm surprised kids haven't started like, you know what? Let's drink all these household chemicals.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll get superpowers.
Maybe we'll get lucky. Okay. That does it for Marvel news. Jumping into some DC, we got a couple stories about Batman v Superman. Jesse Eisenberg, who's playing Lex Luthor, went on to the Today Show to flat out say Batman v Superman is not a cartoonish superhero movie, which I don't think we were really expecting.
Well, yeah, it looked way too badass to be a cartoon.
Oh, yeah. The exact quote is, it was, yes, it's like the most incredible character. It was written by this guy, Chris Terrio. This is like his first movie after Argo, which Argo, I watched it again the other day. That is a great script.
Really?
It's so good. And he's also the guy that's going to be working with Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns on The Batman.
Oh,
I think it's official. It's called The Batman.
Nice.
Which is such a great name. I love when people call him The Batman.
The Batman.
It sounds so cool.
Well, in Gotham, he's urban legend to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people just don't believe he exists. And so that's pretty cool because now he's not human. You can't kill him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah. I mixed those up.
He's reading through his notes.
Yeah.
I think you need to invest in a binder.
I definitely do. Yeah, I have notes this time. That may explain why I'm a little bit more fluid this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Zack Snyder has confirmed that the studio pushed him for more Batman in Batman vs Superman.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't necessarily mind because, as they pointed out, this is not Man of Steel 2. If Man of Steel 2 ever happens, it needs to happen. If it ever happens, it's going to be its own separate thing.
Okay,
Dawn of Justice is not Man of Steel 2. But I like that there's going to be more Batman and more Bruce Wayne because I feel like he's going to be our way into it.
Well,
he's the
we've become
he's the common man. The common man. He's a billionaire.
He's the average man.
Yes, he's the human.
Yeah,
he's the human's perspective into getting into the Justice League. So I don't necessarily mind that. But here's the actual quote: is Zack Snyder saying only because it's a different Batman than the Batman that was in Chris Nolan movies. So we have a little bit more explaining to do, and you just had a whole Superman movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. I'm not mad.
And
it makes a lot of sense, I think.
We've been so saturated with Batman in the past few decades. We're okay with it. We're okay with having all this Batman because everyone still freaks out about, like, you remember the song Royals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when it first came out, I couldn't get tired of that song. It came on every fourth song, and it was good.
Yeah.
And when I listened to it, I'm still like, that's a good song. Turn it up. And that's how everyone's with Batman. You don't get tired of Batman.
Because Batman's awesome.
Yeah.
He's the goddamn Batman. Yeah, we were just talking about All-Star Batman and Robin. I have to read this.
Yeah.
I really have to read this. There is apparently... Oh my god, it's ridiculous to even talk about. There's apparently a scene where the Green Lantern is trying to go take down Batman. And do you know how Batman stops him? He traps him in a room that is painted yellow. I have to read this. And at one point he asks Robin, "What are you, retarded?"
Well, no, it's he goes, "I'm the goddamn Batman," which is completely out of character. And they said they might as well just, like, they wrote in the script before he came out to amend it. It's like, "Are you retarded?"
Yeah.
And
I have to read this. I really have to. I'm recommending it right now. I haven't even read it.
Yeah,
It just sounds great. Okay. Next up, we got official news on Wonder Woman. That starts filming in November.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I'm very interested. And something I can't believe I hadn't talked about this before. Chris Pine was cast as Steve Trevor.
Yes.
I know that.
Yes, I love Chris Pine.
Who is
I think I know who Chris
Steve Trevor. Do you know who that is?
Not a great. But I think it's her, like, one romantic interest.
Yeah, that's about all I do know. Chris Pine, the new Captain Kirk.
Yes, perfect.
Great.
He was also in Into the Woods, of course.
I wanted him for Green Lantern.
Really?
I really, really wanted him for Green, because there was rumors that he was looking at something in there and that it may have been Green Lantern. Other people have been saying, like, maybe Jake Gyllenhaal, which would be kind of cool. Apparently what they're doing with Green Lantern, though, is it's going to be called Green Lantern Corps.
All
So
right,
it's
all
probably
right.
going to have Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan.
Okay, Jon
Which I gotta
Stewart.
say, Idris Elba. Idris motherfucking Elba for Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart's the best Green Lantern.
Mhm.
Why? Because he was in Justice League, which I watched and I thought was awesome.
Oh yeah.
So automatically, because I like him, he's the best.
Yeah. Okay, and I think that's a. Oh no, that's right. There's two other casting rumors for Wonder Woman for the villains.
Ooh.
For Ares, the God of War, possibly they're talking to Sean Bean.
That would work out well.
So he will die. We know that right now. He's gonna die. Sean Bean dies in everything. For Cersei the Sorceress, we have Eva Green, which I don't know who she is.
Both of these are
Oh, I did write this down. Sean Bean was previously in Troy and Jupiter Ascending for this particular studio.
Oh, it was
Ava Green was in Dark Shadows and 300 Rise of the Empire, which I didn't see.
Who was he in Jupiter Ascending?
I didn't
Is he
see
the main
it.
villain? Okay.
No, main villain was Eddie Redmayne.
I cannot stand him at all.
Really?
Because
he was very over the top, right?
He talked like this the entire time.
Yeah.
And it's like
I heard a clip where he was talking like the entire time, and then he just screamed out of
yeah,
nowhere.
like 2 points
very,
in the movie.
very, very British chewing the scenery acting, which I love. I love
Yeah.
watching actors chew the scenery, especially when they're British. It's so cool. He's an Oscar winner.
And well,
That's so funny. He comes off of, I think. Hang on, did the Theory of Everything come out first? Yeah, because that was last year, and Jupiter Ascending was middle of this year.
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah. So Theory of Oscar winner, and then he comes off and does Jupiter Ascending and just gets panned for it.
Well,
He's a good actor though.
That I don't know if the director's like, no, worse. Because
Bigger!
because it looks like he always had this. I don't know if they're going for contained rage, and I don't think anyone can see me making finger quotes with that. But it was just this constant, like, he looked like he sounded like he had an illness. And at one point he just screamed. You're like, oh, there we go. Now the screaming happens.
Yeah.
He was not a relatable villain at all.
I haven't seen it. I kind of want to just to say that I have. I've heard very mixed things.
It's a very beautiful movie.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give it that, but that villain did not help at all.
Yeah. I don't know much about Wonder Woman, but
well,
Gal Gadot looks awesome. She looks so great.
Have you seen Sin City: A Dame to Kill For?
I have not. I haven't seen the first one either. I really need to.
Okay.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in the second one, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
It's great. I
So,
just really want to watch it.
In A Dame to Kill For, the Dame to Kill For, the one that specific story has, is this woman, and she is incredibly manipulative because she can know with a look, she can know exactly what you want and become that, and she can manipulate you, and it's astounding. And she is overall a terrible human being. She is a demon.
Mm-hmm.
And I want her to play Cersei's, the sorceress. Because that would just work out so well because she can escape into that role so well. That type of character. And I want to watch A Dame to Kill For again now because just for that.
I need to see both of them. Was Bruce Willis in both of them? He's kind of a dick. You know that?
Oh, just as a person?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a real jerk apparently.
Yeah, he's like Adam Sandler.
Like very, very unprofessional on set and stuff. And,
yeah.
It makes me sad because John McClane's awesome. I liked A Good Day to Die Hard. That's right, I said it. Okay.
That was the first one I saw for the Die Hard series.
Really? The last one?
Oh no, wait,
Good Day was the last one with his son.
Oh no, before that. Live Free Die Hard.
Live Free Die Hard.
That was the first one I saw.
Kevin Smith was in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the Warlock. It was a lot of fun. I love Kevin Smith.
He's great.
He's so great. He seems like the coolest dude. Okay. Last bit of DC news we got is we have some news about Dark Knight 3: The Master Race, which is the last part of the trilogy for The Dark Knight Returns and Dark Knight Strikes Again. Need to read Dark Knight Strikes Again, even though it's been panned. It's apparently god-awful.
Yeah.
We'll see if The Master Race is any better. That hit shelves on November 25th of this year, so not that far away.
Yeah.
Interesting thing, though. We're getting 30 different cover variants.
Really?
From different stores. And, I'm not really much of a collector with a lot of stuff, but I feel like I'm going to try and get every single one of those.
Oh, God, no, don't do this to yourself.
Not every single one, maybe. Maybe just the ones that look cool. I don't know. But, yeah, that's November 25th, 2015. I'm surprised that that's the shortest story that we have so far.
Yeah, I thought Dark Knight Returns was fantastic. I didn't. I read it. I was at a library and I just read it. I picked it up and I didn't know it was so amazing. And then I saw that they're coming out with a movie, and I bought both of them. I bought both the animated movies,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't get enough.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
really good. Okay, that does it for Marvel and DC. The rest of the stuff is pretty much just random news, not really affiliated with each company. This is not geek related at all. I just found this fascinating. How do you feel about Leo DiCaprio?
I think he's astounding, and
He's
needs
great.
4 Oscars.
Yeah, and ironic that you say that. I have here a list of every movie that he was nominated for an Oscar and who beat him.
Oh, okay.
And at least one of these is sickening that he didn't win it. We'll go
Wait,
from
Can I open with a joke?
Go for it.
All right. So, y'all know Glenn Close, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Glenn Close is like the Leo DiCaprio of women. He's gotten so many nominations, but none. So you could say she's Glenn Close, but no cigar.
Ah! I thought I had it. I thought I had it.
But go ahead. I love that joke.
Okay. So we'll go from newest to oldest. 2014, he was nominated for Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Great movie, great performance.
Fantastic. Yes.
He was beaten out by Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club. I wasn't angry because I saw both movies beforehand, and I said to myself, it's coming down to either one of these two people, and they both deserve it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't very upset about that one. 2007, he was nominated for Best Actor for Blood Diamond, which was pretty good.
I never saw that one.
It was really good. I liked it.
Okay.
But he was beat by Forrest Whitaker in The Last King of Scotland. I didn't see The Last King of Scotland.
I want to point out that just sounds like he won an Oscar.
2005, he was nominated for The Aviator. Really good performance in that.
Yes.
Really good. He was beaten by Jamie Foxx in Ray. I haven't seen Ray. I like Jamie Foxx. Apparently, it was a very, very good performance from what I've heard.
Okay.
And the one that absolutely makes me sick to my stomach, I do not understand. He was nominated in 1994 for Best Supporting Actor for What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Okay.
That was an Oscar-worthy performance.
It really
was.
was.
Incredible. He was beaten out by Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive.
What?
I didn't finish The Fugitive. I made it about halfway through. What in that movie was Oscar-worthy performance?
No, Tommy Lee Jones was just being a cop. That was it. That was the entire thing.
I didn't like it that much, to be honest with you.
I thought
I only made it halfway through because really, I wasn't like I was like screw this movie and I turned it off. I just had stuff to do and I still haven't gotten around to finishing it. But it was okay.
I mean, it was no. I don't understand how he lost out. But the Oscars are like a scam a lot of the times because they'll feel like, oh, we owe this guy an Oscar. And so the next year they'll give it to him and push someone else out.
Yeah.
And it's just so wrong. There's a whole really there's a fantastic film theory. What was it? Film theory episode about it. Film theory is this great channel on YouTube, and they talk about specifically him and how to win an Oscar. Like exactly what to do to win an Oscar.
That sounds very funny.
Because if there's like 3 things that the Oscar people love. They love drama, they love the Holocaust, and they love themselves. So any of those, if you can push that in.
Yeah. Hopefully for his next one though, he has a good shot of it because he's working with some good people. The one he's working on now is called The Revenant, and it's being made by, I'm gonna butcher this, Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu. I think I said it actually right.
Yeah, that might have
You
been.
may recognize that name. He directed Birdman.
Oh, okay.
Which was good. I liked it. I didn't think it deserved Best Picture, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That should have gone to Whiplash. Whiplash is absolutely incredible. I think Gone Girl should have been nominated for Best Picture, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, it's a fun fact about Gone Girl. Okay, the opening and closing shots are exactly the same.
That's such a good movie. I watched it again recently.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly what was going to happen, and my heart was just pounding.
Yeah.
That's how you know a good movie is when the big twist hits you, and it's like it still hits you as big as it did the first time. But yeah, he's working with the director of Birdman. The synopsis here: deep in the uncharted American wilderness, trapper Hugh Glass is severely injured and left for dead by a traitorous member of his team, John Fitzgerald, played by Tom Hardy. Yeah. With sheer will as his only weapon, Glass must navigate a hostile environment, a brutal winter, and warring Native American tribes, and a relentless quest to survive and exact vengeance on Fitzgerald.
Okay,
That sounds fun.
This is a Western movie, you said, right?
I think somewhat, yeah.
Like I've never been a big fan of Western movies, but Django Unchained
Oh man.
made me
But
like
once
them.
again, Oscar performance.
Yeah.
I don't know who won that year.
Oh, okay. So there's something really
I'll
cool.
look it up.
At one point, whenever the whole realization thing has occurred, it's like, you know, they're actually there to get the girlfriend, wife. He hits his hand on the glass and it cuts him, but he rubs it on her face, and that
was his real blood.
Yeah, he actually did cut himself, and like at the end of that scene when they cut, everyone cheered because it was such a fantastic performance.
He's so great. 2 more quick things about the story. He has been quoted. This is his exact quote, and I love him so much more for this. He said, I'm really moved by all the people on the internet demanding that I should win an Oscar. But to be honest, I only do this job because I love it, not to win prizes.
Well, no, and
he's so cool.
That's why he needs one.
That's why he deserves one more than...
he's an amazing human being.
Okay, and now for the real reason that I actually brought this up. He's being trolled by someone on Imgur. Someone that has the screen name, I has an Oscar. And apparently it's legitimate. Whoever this is that's doing this has an Oscar.
Oh.
And they've been putting up pictures of him. Just look at this.
Oh, God. That's so mean.
I love that one. The first one. I'm going to put these up. First one here is him in Wolf of Wall Street, obviously. This one's my particular favorite from Revolutionary Road. Once again, Oscar-worthy performance.
Yeah.
I don't even think that one got nominated for anything. Okay. And that's it for that. Something I forgot to put in Marvel is we got a picture release for Deadpool. Official picture. Him hanging out with Teenage Negasonic, I think is the name.
Oh, he's reading a Judy Blume
Yeah,
novel.
and I think the hashtag for Instagram was something like hashtag trying to connect or something like that. Which just makes me laugh. I love that. Okay. Moving on, Assassin's Creed has started shooting.
Ooh, okay.
It started filming in Malta. I have no idea where that is. I probably should have looked that up. But it's been used as a location in Gladiator, The Count of Monte Cristo, and Troy.
All right, so yeah, it's gonna be that's a good set then.
And last time we talked about it, I didn't have the specifics in front of me, but yeah, it is set in 15th century Spain.
Ooh,
and the official plot synopsis, I have it right here. The story is about a revolutionary technology that unlocks genetic memories. Callum Lynch experiences the adventures of his ancestor Aguilar, I think I pronounced that right, in 15th century Spain. Callum discovers he is descended from a mysterious secret society, the Assassins, and amasses incredible knowledge and skills to take on the oppressive and powerful Templar organization in the present day. I'm excited, man.
Oh yeah,
this is gonna be so good.
That does sound great.
Okay, and the next stories are really short because we really had to get to the main topic. Star Wars Land. I don't know if you heard that. They're doing that they're building an entire section of Disney World.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah,
they're starting construction on that next year.
Okay.
So it's gonna take a long time. I gotta tell you right now, if they don't have an attraction where you can fly them if they don't have an attraction where you can fly the Millennium Falcon, or where you can get on the land speeders, on the Forest Moon of Endor.
There you go.
I got it. Or be able to sit down and eat in the cantina. They've butchered it.
Yeah.
They have to have all of those things. Next up, did you see 2014 Godzilla?
Oh yeah.
It was good, right?
It was great.
I can't call myself a huge Godzilla fan, but I really liked it. And I remember thinking to myself as I was leaving, I would love to see King Kong versus Godzilla, but there's no way that's going to happen because look at the size of Godzilla. Apparently they're going to do that.
Really?
They are working on that because
how are they going to pull that one off?
Well, they're doing the reboot of King Kong.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to come out next year. Very interesting cast. Tom Hiddleston, Samuel Jackson,
Did you like
John
Peter
C. Reilly.
Jackson's?
I didn't see it.
You didn't?
No, but I've heard it looks beautiful. I've heard it's overly long.
It is really long.
And I've heard some criticism of Jack Black's performance, but I saw his line delivery of truly was beauty killed the beast, and I thought he did pretty good.
No, because he did a very, very good serious role. In fact, every once in a while he does do something very funny in Jack Black, which is good. But he wasn't just Tenacious D going up there and killing, a giant ape. It was a lot better than that.
Yeah. Okay, we talked about last week, not on the podcast, but you and I talked about the possibility of Iron Giant 2. How would you feel about that?
I loved the Iron Giant, and I really want an Iron Giant 2 to be a thing.
Well, too bad, 'cause it's not happening.
Why do you keep doing this to me?
It's funny. Yeah, Vin Diesel was pretty much a jerk, and I love Vin Diesel, so I don't know why he would do this to us. they were talking about it because they are going to be re-releasing it in theaters.
Okay.
I need to find the exact date because I want to go. But he was talking about that, and on his Facebook page, he posted, "I've been very lucky to have played so many interesting characters. One of the first and one of my favorites is the Iron Giant." And then he added, "P.S. Don't be surprised when you hear WB announce the sequel." Yeah. And Brad Bird, the director, came out, literally the quote, "Ben was just stirring fun pots. I agree with you. We told the story we wanted to tell."
Oh dear.
What are you doing to
Well,
us, Ben? What are you doing?
And it had a very good ending. It had like
Mhm.
it had a teaser, but
Superman. Oh God,
oh,
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. Okay.
yeah. So
Next up, I meant to throw this in last week, but I completely forgot. Artemis Fowl, definitely happening.
yes,
Kenneth Branagh is making it.
I love Artemis
Directed the
Fowl
first
so
Thor,
much.
so we kind of know he's directed a lot of stuff. That just happens to be the only thing
Directed
that I've
what?
seen. The first Thor.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Directed
that'd
that, and he was Gilderoy Lockhart in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
be good. So
I like him. I like him a lot. He's great.
I want
Yeah.
Artemis- Have you read Artemis Fowl?
I read the first one, and I read the first two.
Okay.
How many of them are there?
8.
There's
And
8?
They just keep getting better.
Oh God, I need to catch up.
Oh.
So with the 8th one, is that the end of it, or are they making
That
more?
is like it.
Okay,
it's-
so I have time
Yeah.
to catch up. But yeah, that's going into development. I'll link the article that has the full synopsis for Artemis Fowl. But yeah,
So
that's
excited for that.
that's great. Disney also moving through with I don't know if you knew this, they're doing 2 Jungle Book movies.
They already made like a actual live action.
Live action one, like back in the
Okay.
90s, which
Alright.
I remember enjoying as a kid. I haven't seen it since then. But they released on Disney released on their Vine a little 6-second look at the 2016 one,
Okay.
and it looks absolutely beautiful. This is the one. They're both going to be interesting. That's the thing,
Yeah.
is I feel like I'm not going to get overloaded because they're both just fascinating. The one that's coming out in 2016 is a split between live action and CG, so they're going to do mocap.
Okay.
Jon Favreau's directing it.
Oh.
Did Iron Man and Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Elf. The cast has me so excited. Baloo is being played by Bill Murray.
Oh, no, that'd be great.
That's so perfect.
That is.
And apparently he does sing The Bare Necessities.
Oh, that's.
I don't know
wonderful.
if it's a full musical, but Bill Murray will sing The Bare Necessities, which just
That-
makes my heart happy.
Ugh.
Ben Kingsley is playing Bagheera.
Okay.
Scarlett Johansson is playing Kaa.
Oh, is the tiger.
The snake.
Oh, the snake. Oh no, that'd be good.
Idris Elba is Shere Khan.
Oh,
Is
okay.
And this one has me excited. Christopher Walken is King Louis.
Really? No, that'd be
Yes.
great.
It's gonna Man Cub. I want to be like you. It's gonna be so great. The one coming out in 2017 is being directed by Andy Serkis. In that one, Bagheera is Christian Bale. Kate Blanchett is Kaa. I find it interesting they're going with a female
Yeah.
for Kaa in both cases. I don't know if it is in the original story.
But Call was.
The snake.
No, but.
In the Disney movie, it was the guy that did the voice of Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. Baloo in this one is Andy Serkis, which is
So
pretty cool.
Why are they doing 2 of
I don't know, but the cast are so great that I don't really care.
these?
The one that I'm most excited for, in the Andy Serkis one, Shere Khan being played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh wow, that'd be good.
The funny
That
thing
would be
is, it's gonna make the second character that he's played named Khan.
You're right.
Oh, spoilers.
No, at this rate.
Do you remember when that was coming out? And
Yeah,
they were
no
flat
one
out-
knew what.
J.J. Abrams was flat out lying to us
Yeah.
and saying, no, he's not Khan.
Don't be
He's
silly.
John. I almost said Jon Snow. He's whatever the character's name was.
Yeah.
And came out, and when he says my name is Khan in the movie, no one was surprised because we had it figured out. Okay, like I said, that was a lot of news. All right, now what we came here for. I think we should have a name for this segment. Does it suck that bad?
Okay. All right.
Does it suck that bad? Green Lantern. So let's get into this. It was directed by Martin Campbell, who directed Casino Royale, which I didn't see. That one was
good. Very good.
that was the first Daniel Craig one, right?
Yep.
Okay, good.
And it
I need-
showed Bond's sort of origins.
Yeah, I need to look into that. But also, more importantly for me, directed Mask of Zorro, which is such an underrated
Yes.
film.
Mask of
It's
Zorro
so
was a
good.
fantastic movie.
Okay, but stars Ryan Reynolds of X-Men Origins fame, The Proposal, Buried, Just Friends, and the upcoming Deadpool. Carol Ferris was played by Blake Lively. I don't know if I said that. Ryan Reynolds played Hal Jordan. Don't know if I said that. Who was in Gossip Girl in the Town.
Yeah.
Hector Hammond was played by Peter Skarsgård, who was in Jarhead, Flight Plan, and is going to be in the Magnificent Seven, the new Quentin Tarantino movie.
Nice.
Sinestro was Mark Strong, who was in Kick-Ass, Sherlock Holmes, and Kingsman. He was absolutely the best part of the movie. We'll get into that. Kilowog was played by the late, great Michael Clark Duncan. Green Mile, Armageddon, Planet of the Apes. And Tomo Ray was played by Jeffrey Rush, who was in Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Okay, so I started this off as just having like a series of notes of pros and cons, and then I figured out that we're essentially just going to retell the entire movie through pros and cons.
Yeah.
Okay, so right off the bat, the first pro that I found, I don't know why people seem to complain about how they say the opening just throws you into the mythology, so new people are going to be very confused and newcomers are going to be just upset that they glossed over it.
Yeah.
I didn't find that at all because I've never read anything of Green Lantern, but they talked about the essentials, what, the rings and everything in the opening, and I understood it.
Yeah, I got it.
I was perfectly...
And they didn't even go into the emotional spectrum, thank God. That would have been confusing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They were very straightforward.
First con I have is I would have liked to see Avon Sur and Parallax fight, when he caught him, when he imprisoned him.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see at least a little bit of that fight. Next pro, Parallax escaping looks cool. Him ripping the skeletons out of those people was...
Oh, yeah.
That was dark.
That was
a really dark way to start the movie.
I had a cousin. That was like the first part she saw, and Mom's like, "Nope, you can go to your room now. You're not watching that."
Okay. Next con I have... I didn't write these down in full sentences, so every once in a while we're gonna have some real fun with my writing here.
Okay.
I've got written Avon Sur equals cartoony but looks better later.
It's true. At one point,
the first part he looks fully CG and it looks kind of ridiculous.
I think that was the lighting, probably.
Maybe
because they did give him. He was all makeup.
Yeah, when he's laying on the beach later on, spoilers. Spoilers for this whole movie, by the way.
We're going to systematically dissect this movie.
Yeah. When he dies on the beach later on, he looks good.
Yeah.
That was full on makeup. I know it was. And also I realized I think I was watching the extended cut. So I don't know how much of it is different. I know this whole section right here was added. There was more of Hal as a kid.
Yeah.
Kind of showing his relationship with his dad. That was pretty well explained. I have here Hector's dad is a dick. Because Hector's sitting there playing with his little toy car and his dad's like just being a dick to him, like, why can't you be like Hal?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, poor Hector.
He didn't deserve that.
And then I have, obviously, when his father's plane explodes, I have young Hal equals Tom Cruise / action star run.
Okay, so there was one part in that where he's climbing out, and you could almost, in my head, it wouldn't have exploded right then. The dad climbed out, he would have just been like this, and like he would have just waved and smiled at his son. But no, right before you think that might happen, explosion, death, everyone's sad.
Yeah, like a typical superhero movie.
Yeah.
Father's dead. I don't remember if they said what happened to his mom. She's out of the picture. Whatever.
Halfway to Batman.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Halfway to Green Lantern, really. Next, I have a pro, Ryan Reynolds. Just Ryan Reynolds.
He is a great actor.
He's so charming. I love him. He's great. Much better. Here's the thing, though. I feel like he might have made a better Flash.
He's not lithe enough.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, next pro, flight scene equals really cool.
Like where
with the dog fights.
Yeah.
I should have written dog fight equals really cool. Yeah, that was cool.
I did like
nice
that.
little action sequence.
Really I like how he just beat the plane. Like, screw you, I don't like rules.
Yeah, and that's what I put. Purposely sabotaging test shows what planes can't do.
He pulled a what was it?
If it's at all related to my next note, I'm gonna laugh.
It's not. He pulled a Captain Kirk. He cheated to win.
See, you took the nerd game to the next level. I have written stall plane equals Iron Man.
Yeah, well, that did happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened in Iron Man.
The exact same way.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna laugh so hard if you said that. Next up, I have written pro nephew equals not the worst kid actor.
So in watching,
He's not great, but
in watching,
kid actors can be terrible.
No,
so
in Spy Kids, they're all awful.
Oh yeah,
just all of them are terrible. And so like when I got to see like a good child actor, I'm like, oh look, not terrible.
Yeah,
Dakota Fanning, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah. Do you hate Jake Lloyd? Going off topic for a second.
Jake Lloyd.
Mini Anakin.
No, I don't.
I don't hate him. He talks like a kid to me. Come on, people. He got bullied for that, like, hard. He gave up acting forever.
Yeah.
And he's, like, angry at Star Wars for ruining his life.
It's so sad.
I know, it really is. Pro, I have the Hot Wheels set up. I like that.
Okay, yeah.
It was very subtle. Okay, there's, like, one moment of dialogue where he says, oh, it's this particular model of the car, and it's a little on the nose. I would have liked if he had just, like messed with the Hot Wheels set a little bit, which he does. He, like, kind of, like, moves the track a little bit and like walks away. I thought that was a good setup. I like that. Oh no, that was my phone. Pro, I have written not staying with the ship. Very smart. When the government is coming, or when someone's God.
Oh no, yeah. Okay, so whenever
like his friend wants to go in and
let's go look at it. Let's not.
There's sirens coming, man. Man, I feel like there was a section of the movie that I didn't take notes for because next I have Sinestro equals cool as hell.
Sinestro looks like
But I also have Guardians equals cartoony.
Well, the Guardians are just...
Yeah, they look terrible. If I had to say anything in this movie was terrible, it was them.
They had this, like, okay, so they had like the regular... I kept staring at this every time. They had the regular heads, and they had, like, this weird, like, invisible, like, liquid on top of their blue skin. I'm like,
yeah, that threw me off.
What is this?
No, we're not going to talk about that? We're not going to explain that? No? Okay, next scene. Correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I just didn't see this scene. Wasn't there a scene where he sends like 4 lanterns out into space and Parallax just rips through them?
I don't remember. I watched this yesterday. And
I know, like I finished watching it 2 days ago. Granted, okay, here's how I watched this movie. I started watching it about 2-3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I made it like 20 minutes in and I had to go do something. I had to go to work or something like that. And I just never got around to finishing it. And then I actually finished it like 2 days ago. Okay. But I could have sworn that scene existed.
No, wait. That did no. I remember it now. It did exist.
Okay, so maybe when I started it again, I just started right after that scene.
Yeah.
Pro, I have Amanda Waller.
Oh yes.
I forgot she was in it. Actually, okay. When I first saw the movie, I didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
So, recently over the years, I've kind of learned more about the Suicide Squad and everything like that. So when I heard her say her name was Amanda Waller, I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
They were trying to build a universe. You could tell.
You did. Yeah.
They were, I don't know if they were going to cross it with Chris Nolan's universe or if they were going to wait until another reboot, but they were trying for something and you can tell.
Yeah.
I was intrigued. I have random quotes in here as pros. I also have random quotes in here as cons. I just have by the power of Grayskull.
Yeah, when he's trying to get it to work, he's like, it's like it's
I just thought that was quite funny.
By the power of Grayskull, what is it?
Pro, the oath sounds cool.
He delivers that.
He has the gravitas of it very, very well. I liked how the his eyes were very, very slowly widening out as he was saying it. That was really cool. I loved how his origins and Hector Hammond's origins were like interspliced. As he was becoming the Lantern for the first time, Hector was also
being consumed by
Parallax. That was really, really cool. And Hector was a very sympathetic villain.
You felt for
him. I really, really felt for him. He was like, I feel like we all kind of knew someone like that at some point or another.
Yeah.
Whether or not we were nice to the person, I would like to think that I was, but I mean, even Hal was nice to him though, and we saw how that turned out. So it doesn't matter. The crazy person's always going to be a dick, no matter what. So the lesson here is just bully everyone. No. No.
Being mean is fun.
Okay. And of course, oh God, when he gets bitten, when the little bit of Parallax infects Hammond, that summons the big space fart himself.
Yeah, how does...
As he comes floating through the air floating through space in his little fart cloud. That is... I hate that. I hate that so much.
Parallax doesn't look intimidating. He looks like a virus.
Mm-hmm. Why is he a cloud? Why? Why was Galactus a cloud?
Okay, in the comic books, all the entities have their own thing. here. And
To
the
be
ending
fair, what
goes-
did Parallax look like? I'm not even sure. That could be comic accurate. I would have no idea.
No,
It's not, I know,
He has
but-
there is a full obvious sort of body thing going on. They all very much look like their sort of thing, but he is very like talony and like evil.
Mm-hmm.
And in this they it isn't even that. It's not even the entity of fear. It's a guardian who has a lot of fear in them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which makes much more sense.
And it looks like a guardian octopus that's yellow and smoky. And
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. It's okay. Let's get back to a pro though. The first use of the ring with his ex-coworkers is really cool. How he's getting his ass kicked in the parking lot of the bar,
and
he goes to pick up the. He was going to cause some serious damage though.
Mhm.
Can I just say that like they were going to walk away? He was probably about to murder them, or at least seriously injure them. He had nails in his hand.
He was ready to hurt him.
Yeah, he was ready to hurt them very bad, even though they were walking away. Fight was over.
Yeah.
He was gonna hurt those guys.
If he wouldn't have had the ring, he would have just slowly killed off everyone who ever wronged him.
Mm-hmm. The force field looks great when it comes on and it shoots him into space.
Yeah.
That looks great. I love his reaction too. I feel like that's the most realistic reaction ever. He's about to pee himself. It's very frightening for him, and I love that. The whole scene with the suit infusing with his body, with his skeleton,
Yeah.
getting into that was really cool.
That
I liked that because it kind of showed becoming a superhero might not always be so fun.
That's true.
Next I have Khan goddamn dancing with about 5 exclamation points.
Oh, God.
It's not as long as it was in Spider-Man, but
No.
there's when he's looking at himself in the reflection, you kind of hear like this bow, 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 bow music start happening, and he starts like swaggering up to the mirror.
Oh.
And I just thought for 2 seconds, oh my God, what is happening?
He's not that full of himself.
Yeah.
The character's not.
The next pro I have is the theme song is cool.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba. It sounds really cool. I may actually put the theme song in instead of singing that because that sounded terrible.
Brightest day, blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's life.
I have pro/con. The suit is not 100% terrible.
Okay.
That's the main complaint everyone seems to have, and
This-
certain scenes it looks great, and then there's
Yeah.
other ones where they really, really needed to take some more time.
I want to point the mask almost never looks good. It was not
Almost
refined well.
never, yeah.
And
It looks like paint a lot of the
it
time.
really does. But everyone has to understand, how else would they make the suit?
Mm-hmm.
You can't make it a physical one because it never has been, and it would lose that. Everyone would be just as angry.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it came from a TV show, and it would not work out well. So it's like, well, let's do CG. They simply did not have enough time to make it look good.
Oh yeah.
And like, if you can just pretend that didn't happen, like if you can pretend that the suit looked decent, do you think this would be a good movie?
Yeah, exactly. I'd be curious. I want to take some polls from people and see what they think.
Like whenever they were actually making the movie, they said like the first question asked like can I make a Green Lantern movie? Someone asked him, can you make it without the ring? And he got so discouraged.
Yeah, that's right.
He got so discouraged he didn't make it for like 4 more years.
Because that's stupid. That makes no sense. Like, can you make it without the ring?
Well, can you power it with can you make it with the power of the characters and stuff like
Oh,
that? That's what
okay.
we're saying. Not
Okay.
like we're going to remove the ring from Green
I thought we
Lantern.
were
No.
talking about like the crazy producer that wanted to make Superman Lives, and slightly off topic for like 2 seconds because this has to be said. The producer who was trying to put out Superman Lives did not want to see him in the suit, did not want to see him fly,
What?
and wanted him to fight a giant spider.
This is terrible.
And it sounds like I'm making this up, but I'm not.
Ugh.
We'll do an entire thing about it because there's a documentary that was just released. I need to find it. It's called The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened. And it's talking about, because Tim Burton was going to direct it.
Oh.
Nicolas Cage was going to star, which Nick Cage in the 90s, mind you. So it was probably going to be terrible,
Yeah.
but it would have been great at the same time. It would have been amazing. Tim Burton and Nicolas Cage, and Kevin Smith had done the script, so there's like interviews with him and Tim Burton.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any interviews with Nick Cage, but I would love to hear his thoughts on it. Anyways, back to the topic. Next pro I have is Kilowog is cool.
Yeah,
He looks great.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
they did a lot of justice to that character.
I liked the bigger you are, the faster you burn line.
Yeah.
That guy had such a great voice.
He really did.
He was great, man. I miss him. Pro, I have Sinestro's relationship with Hal starting to build.
Yeah.
It eventually would burn down to the ground, but we never got to see that.
Well, and no one really realizes
Saved it.
that they were and kind of still are really good friends.
Yeah.
They understand each other, and like he understands why. He understands why he chose the L ring, but he knows it's completely not noble at all. And Hal's all about nobility.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I like there was a slow throughout the movie you could see Hal slowly gaining Sinestro's respect.
Yeah.
But it was slow. It wasn't like I hate you, human, and then I respect you, human. It was like very slow. It was a build. I liked that.
And with what little screen time they had, they did a good job with that.
Oh, exactly. Next pro I have Hector's dad is a dick again.
Yeah, Hector's dad constantly stays a dick.
Well, because Hector was so happy, he thought that he got the job to examine the alien autopsy purely based off of his skills.
Yeah.
And then he come to find out. That's what I also have written down. Hector hates nepotism.
Yeah. And it's it's like they don't have connections. Like, you're an ass. You could have brought someone else in to work with him. Like,
and especially because when he reads his mind, what is the line? Yeah, it's not even like I got you this job because you're my son and I love you and I think you'd be good for the job. It's like just get this idiot something to do, something like that. Essentially,
that character just stays bad, and
just a dick.
He's the real villain.
Next pro I have is Hot Wheels Rescue is really cool. I don't care what anyone says. People say that is a dumb scene. It is so cool.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
It shows how inventive he is. And granted, yes, when he was fighting Kilowog and Sinestro, yes, he wasn't very clever in coming up with a machine gun or a sword. But
later he got really good at it.
Yeah, he got inventive. He got inventive really quick, and I liked that. And apparently, I don't know if I have this written down. I have some trivia for later. I don't know if I have it written down, but the chainsaw was a specific reference to something. Like he used the chainsaw in one of the comics or something like that.
Yeah, it's like during the first fight of another Green Lantern in the comics, he pulled out a chainsaw.
Yeah, that's what it was. I have this written as a pro. I don't know why, because it's a con. How is his goof friend the only one who recognized him at the party? His goof friend.
Oh.
Did I say good? I meant goof.
Oh, I heard.
His goofy friend was the only one that recognized him at the party. Even though he was standing pretty far away, and
he also knew
Hal landed right in front of Carol's dad.
He also knew that the Green Lantern was a thing, sort of.
That's true. That's okay. So I guess logic.
It's like, well, me and my best friend got this weird green power thing,
and now there's a weird green
power man. So
green power man.
Oh wait, jumping ahead a little bit. There was one line that made me laugh. He landed like as Green Lantern, like with his little lifelong friend, girl, lady. And at one point he's like Hal? It's like, how'd you recognize me? And she's like, I've known you since you were a child. Do you think I wouldn't be able to recognize you because I can't see your cheekbones?
Kind of running with the trope a little bit of like people constantly saying, how do you not recognize them? Like, I think I do have that written down at some point. We'll see. Ironically, the next pro that I have is also a bit of dialogue. Ring, finger. You can't see what I just did, but it's the scene when his friend wants to see how the ring works. He gives the ring and then he flips him off and he puts the ring on.
Oh yeah, finger.
I thought that was kind of funny. I like that he had to charge the ring. Yeah, it was a nice little touch. Also, when his friend said, "Did you break it already?" That made me laugh. But just sort of, this isn't like just a frivolous thing that he can just do whenever he wants. He has to charge it. Yeah. I wish that they would have found a way to set that up. You'd think maybe that would be a setup to something later on that happens where he didn't charge it or something, but that's a minor complaint.
In the comics, the power ring talking to you is a constant thing. And you're
talking to you, really?
Yeah, it informs you, like battery at 19%. Ooh. And like here's a message from this person. And like
did Steve Jobs have anything to do with this?
And it's a constant. I wish they would have brought that in, like you hear a voice or like he just stopped for a second as if taking in information.
Next pro I have, I don't know how the actual dialogue, but Carol recognizes Hal instantly.
Yeah.
Like as soon as she got up close to him, and I liked how he was trying to play it with the Batman voice.
Yeah.
Just doing my job, How? Yes. And then he just instantly gives it up, like, fuck it. Pro, I have the little reference to Amanda Waller's family. I don't know if that's comic book accurate, but I like it.
That I did like that.
Because how her family died, and that sort of sent her down the path that she chose.
And how she didn't flinch.
Mm-hmm.
She was not moved because she whatever.
Because she's the wall.
Yeah.
She stands up to Batman.
She doesn't stand up to Batman. She tells him what to do.
Yeah, there's a comic book cover, and I can't remember whether it's Batman or Superman. I want to say I think it's Superman actually, where he's backed up against a wall, and because she's so short compared to him, and she's looking up at him, and she's poking him in the chest.
Yeah,
and he looks scared. And I want to find this so bad. If not the issue, I want a poster of that because it's such a great cover. Where was that?
There's also a really good poster of like Batman standing there. It was an Arkham Knight poster, Arkham City poster. Batman standing. Harley Quinn is like has her hip cocked and she has a finger out as if telling Batman off, and he's just looking at it. Mm-hmm. It's a really good poster.
Oh yeah. Next pro I have is he doesn't want the responsibility at first. It's not like, some superhero movies, they get their powers and they just go with it. Yeah. But like Hal is kind of sitting there like, I am a fuck up.
It's like, no, get this away from me.
No, this is way too much responsibility. I don't like this. Next pro I have is Hector fucks everyone up. Doc gets a needle to the eye. Waller gets slammed face first into window, and he murders his father with fire.
Because everyone was happy about that.
Well, yeah.
And that was
It was a brutal scene.
He really did turn into a villain, and he did sort of fluidly.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
like he just went crazy out of nowhere.
Yeah.
On the flip side, though, I have the con. Not great CGI while Hector fucks everyone up.
That's true.
Yeah.
I wish it would have been like because he obviously didn't have like I can just make beams of energy, but he could affect things at a distance. So if you saw like just a spark of yellow and then like a plane fall.
Yeah, that was great. Next pro I have is Lantern saves Waller with freestanding water construct. That was cool.
It really was.
It could have been anything. It could have been if it was like a trampoline, he would have been like, "That's dumb. That's cartoony." But like, it was something that effectively saved her. Mm-hmm. He did his job. It was creative. Why complain?
Yeah, I did like that a lot.
I think I misspelled this. I have written Lantern isn't invisible. I meant to say Lantern isn't invincible. Takes his hits from Hector.
Yeah,
like he kind of got his ass kicked a little bit. I like the line that Hector has of "How did we wind up so different?" Yeah, that's a great line. Yeah, because it does show like the idea of like if it. Obviously the ring chooses people, so this wouldn't happen. Mm. But if it would have gone to someone like Hector, then
these roles could easily have been reversed.
Exactly,
they're both tortured specifically by their father in one way or another. Mm-hmm. And if the ring would have gone to Hector instead, I mean, he would be fighting a big-headed Hal, in probably the same place.
This isn't even pro Archon. I just have written funny subtitles. Hector harumphs. There's a moment if you turn the subtitles on the Blu-ray, like he rolls over and he kind of does like and it says Hector harumphs.
That's like a Sob's mathematics.
I just thought that was pretty funny. Next con I had, why is the suit sometimes all green but sometimes it's black and green? Did you notice that?
I think it.
Do you think that has to do with like the mood, like how he's feeling at the moment?
Like when was it black and green?
I can't remember to save my life. All I know is that there were moments when I was like, it's flat green right now. And there were other moments where it was green and black, and there was like...
That might have just gone to they didn't refine the suit enough.
Probably. I would assume so.
I did like the look of the suit altogether, because it looked like muscle. Mm-hmm. And I did enjoy that.
Oh, I already did mention this. Pro, Hector straight murders his pop. Whoa.
Yeah. Just fire. You're dead now.
Yeah. Next con I have is maybe the mask could be a darker shade of green. Also, if they
because it would make it look a lot less cartoony.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Major con here that I felt: why the hell talk to Tom and Carol before going and talking to the Corps? Yeah, because he has the whole scene of like, at the very least, he could have gone to the Corps and warned them and been like, "Hey, you fuckers need to help me out here." Yeah. But I guess I can kind of understand because they had to talk him into really becoming
a Lantern.
Yeah, into becoming a Lantern. So when he went back to the Corps, he came back with a strong stance of, I'm going to do this whether or not You approve. Which I think I have that written as a con also is why did he have to ask permission?
Well, he was answering to the one authority. He's a soldier, remember? So
Yeah.
he's akin to answering to authority.
Yeah.
And what I liked is whenever he's talking to them about fear, that whole discussion about the yellow ring, that whole thing came right from the comic book.
Yeah.
And that was really good.
Yeah, definitely. Next pro I have is very realistic that he's afraid, not a cartoon cutout fearless hero.
Yeah, the whole thing is that he's not fearless.
Yeah, and a huge complaint that I heard people saying was like, he said he's afraid. That's not like the Green Lantern. And that actually leads into the next pro that I have. The ring saw the ability to overcome fear.
Yeah.
Not that he was fearless. The fact that he was brave enough to overcome his fear.
Yeah.
Which is much deeper than I think people were expecting.
True.
And is much better, I think, than what people were expecting. Next con I have is yellow ring forgery equals Mount Doom. It looks like the Eye of Sauron.
It does.
A lot. Next pro I have is Hal's speech to the Guardians equals straight out of comic.
Yeah, there we go.
That was me trying to make a pun.
Straight out of
But it
comic.
also works. It also works because it was straight out of a comic. He was willing to sacrifice his own life knowing that fear would corrupt the core if they use the yellow ring. This gains Sinestro's respect, and he has the great line of "Good luck, Green Lantern."
Yeah.
It wasn't good luck human. It wasn't good luck Hal. It was good luck Green Lantern.
Yeah.
When he finally gains his respect, that was a great, great moment. Next con I have is how did Carol's rockets hit a cloud? When she was when Parallax had Hal.
Because he is so he's not just gas. I had to figure this one out because they could also chain him to the ground, and he would be punched or something like that. So there was a physicalness to him.
Yeah.
It was just very lucid.
It was just hidden in a stupid cloud.
Ugh. God, why?
I'm surprised I didn't write anything down about Hal and Hector's little confrontation, which was really well written dialogue wise.
Yeah,
it was really cool, and I liked how it was. Okay, explain to me something. How was it that Hector was able to use the ring to blow shit up when he was trying to show off, but not 2 seconds later when he tried to hit Hal was able to control it?
I was thinking about that. Hal just let him do it.
Oh!
To make him think it.
That's cool. I really like that scene. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say it seems like kind of a time waster when he could have been saving Carol, but that's neither here or there. Next thing I have is not a pro or a con. I just have written a lot of people die.
You're right.
A lot of people die in this movie.
Parallax just absorbs
innocent people too.
Yeah.
Not just like, the government or, whatever. Like, where was the anger about that?
Yeah.
Man of Steel gets so much hate. I think Man of Steel is just because people, like...
They don't like change.
Well, not only do they not like change, but, like, it was very realistic violence.
It really
This was kind of cartoony in the way that I'm gonna suck your soul out. Or, whatever it was that he was doing.
And that one, they were being crushed by rocks.
Yeah, in a very, very, people, of course... understandably so, are very sensitive about the whole 9/11 thing. And people are saying that there was a lot of, which in a sense, yes, I can agree. I understand where people are coming from that. But at the same time, that's also just what happens.
Yeah.
Physically speaking, that's what happens to a building when it comes down. There's some slight controversy over the Batman versus Superman trailer. My absolute favorite shot in the whole trailer is when the smoke cloud is coming towards him and everyone's running away from it, and there's Ben Affleck just running straight into it.
Oh, yeah.
Such a great shot.
Yeah.
And, there was, some slight controversy over that because people were saying, like, are they playing on our 9/11 fear? It's like, I don't know. No. I don't necessarily think so because unfortunately, we had to see it in real life to see that that's what happens, but that is what happens. We just got really serious there for a second. Oh, my God. Let's get back to the laughs.
Okay.
Next pro I have written down is great constructs. In the entire Parallax fight.
Yeah.
Catapult that throws Parallax's morning breath back at him. I forgot I wrote that. Springboard on gas tanker blown up a machine gun was really cool. Come on, that's creative. I actually have that written down. Come on, that's creative.
Yeah. And you had to realize, and all the constructs, CGI-wise, were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for the most part, if they look cartoony, it's because the idea of it
is
was cartoony. Like a brick wall. Nothing's more cartoony than that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
The pro, I liked that he was reciting the oath again.
Oh, yeah.
To really build himself up and give himself... I don't think it was literally giving him strength, but I think by him saying the oath, he was
Well,
it was kind of him building himself up as like, come on, you can do this.
Yeah.
You can do this.
It was tuning Parallax out because Parallax was just like saying
Talking shit.
Yeah,
That's all Parallax really did in this movie was just talk shit.
it's true.
The con that I had though, super short fight reminds me of Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah, I wanted.
And then I have written down another day ellipses. That's fully for another day.
Maybe
That
one day.
Oh, that movie.
But yeah, there was a really short, and I don't like how. Okay. These are the entities of fear and love and
Mhm.
will and all this other stuff. So they can't be burnt up by the sun.
Yeah, that's
I didn't like the, but why, if so, why didn't they think of doing it before? Why didn't they just put that planet into the sun?
exactly. Next pro that I have, the callback to the bigger you are, the faster you burn, and the callback to the dogfight.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about it before I watched the movie, and I thought, was there any point in the movie where they made it very obvious that that's what they were going to do at the end? And I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I saw the dogfight at the very beginning, and I saw the dogfight at the very end.
Yeah.
There was never any like, oh, pay attention to this. This is going to be important, which, you know, some of these movies tend to do.
Yeah.
I like the fact that there's a moment where he realizes he has to loosen his restraints to beat him. Because he's restrained into the jets with the thing around his waist and by his arms. And there's a moment when he gets this look of determination and he takes the ones off of his arms.
Yeah.
Even though he's like, I'm screwed if I do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to save my planet.
He was
That
damn well
is
ready
really
to die.
cool. It's great. Fully willing to sacrifice himself. I have a con. Anything but a giant fist?
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean,
Very big, you know, kind of looked like Bluto's fist from Popeye.
yeah, I didn't.
Just punched him in the face and he dies.
Yeah, I didn't feel that one at all. Like, I wish it could have just been a beat.
Just been a blast, an energy,
Yeah.
green blast of energy. That would have been really cool. If anything, that would have made it more symbolic because it would literally be the power of will.
Yeah.
You know, beating the power of fear.
Yeah, destroying the power of fear.
Yeah. Exactly. The pro, I love the line, Abin Sur found another just like himself.
Yeah, I did like that.
That was a great, once again, a moment of like, you've gained my respect, you are my friend. And if we had gotten a sequel, granted, and okay, I'll get to that in a second. A con bit of dialogue though, that's really cool. I'm sorry, if you're in a superhero movie and you are not a teenager and you say that's really cool, it sounds weird.
Well, who had said that?
Carol.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When the mask comes off, she goes, "That's really cool."
Ugh.
It's kind of like in Man of Steel, the very end when the sergeant turns around and he says, "What are you smiling at, soldier?" And she goes, "Nothing. It's just he's kind of hot."
Yeah.
It was a weird moment of dialogue. Interesting thing. Have you heard the fan rumor that or the theory that is Carol Ferris?
Really?
Because, well, actually, I don't even know if it's necessarily a theory because I think on her patch it says "C. Ferris."
Really?
You know, whether they just threw that in as an Easter egg or she was eventually going to become a bigger part of the universe, we don't know. Pro, the flight through the clouds at the end is very reminiscent of Superman.
Yeah.
I like that scene a lot. That was shot really well. The effects, not incredible right there, but they're good. They're passable.
Yeah.
Last pro I have is the mid-credits. No idea why Sinestro put that ring on, but I want a sequel.
Yeah, I want to see the Rise of Sinestro.
Mm-hmm. Because here's how I kind of, in my dream world, the way I kind of see it going is I would love to see a movie where for the first half Sinestro is like playing both sides.
Yeah.
Like very much kind of does want to be Hal's mentor and his friend, but is also using the ring and maybe is trying to get Hal to join him.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Emperor and Anakin in episode 3.
Well,
he's kind of like gaining his trust and maybe he wants to see that happen. So we get to see that friendship and that mentor-mentee mentality sort of build, and then at the end he kind of has to make a decision whether or not he's going to do it.
In the animated movie I watched, when this
was it First Flight?
I think so. Yeah,
I have First Flight. I haven't watched it yet.
It very much shows.
I literally got it for my birthday like 5 years ago.
It shows Sinestro going around and doing stuff, but he does scare people into doing and it works.
Mm-hmm.
So he already has this mentality. He's showing how this is how it works. This is how it must be done.
Mm-hmm.
Because they won't listen to me saying it. They'll listen to me hear. They'll fear me though.
Oh, definitely.
And so it's like, and that's whenever he got the yellow ring and it was in his possession, and it's like you can imagine, you could easily see like Yes. Sinestro was already like this, and considering how was right under his wing, you could see him like overcoming like saying, "No, I don't like it." It would have been really cool.
Yeah. Okay, well that's pretty much it for the movie itself. I got some trivia written down here. I found all these pretty fascinating. At one point, Clark Kent / Superman was in the script. He had a cameo as one of the candidates considered to receive a power ring, but he was cut out of the film because the filmmakers didn't want to depend on another superhero for its success.
On that,
Do you think he actually appeared, or do you think it was like kind of like a Doctor Strange's reference in not Civil War, Winter Soldier?
I think it was more like that.
Probably, yeah.
But, I was in that at one point in Injustice: Gods Among Us. At one point, shit goes down,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this whole fight, and Superman has been beaten for one reason or another. He's just on the ground, lying there, defeated, and then because there's the Sinestro Corps and the Green Lantern Corps are fighting, there's just rings floating everywhere, and at one point, one of them finds him and says, "Look, you invoke fear, Superman. You are now a Yellow Lantern."
Oh my god!
It's so good. And he goes for
this
like...
was in the game?
No, this was in...
in the comic?
In the comics.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
The
god,
Injustice
those comics are great.
Oh. Is that also the one, there's, I saw a meme once, I haven't seen the actual dialogue, but where Superman is, getting very emotional, is very angry, and he rips Batman's mask off, and is getting in his face. And is just screaming at him. I think that's from that.
It might be.
I need to get it, because that is a great image.
Another one. Okay, so we're going off topic, but it still has to do with the Yellow Lanterns.
Yeah.
At one point in the fight between the green and the yellow, at one point he runs out of juice, like Guy Gardner does, and he starts falling. And Sinestro sees this, and he just floats up and holds the yellow ring in front of him and waits. The next panel is him as a Yellow Lantern.
How long is that run? Do you know?
There are 4 years. It's still going.
Is it really?
Injustice is still going.
Oh my god! Because I know I've seen the graphic novels set up. I need to look into that. I didn't know it was still going. That's awesome.
I think they're on their 4th year now.
Oh, that's awesome. Next bit of trivia I got is Ryan Reynolds and Martin Campbell clashed repeatedly on set. Campbell has stated in interviews that his first and only choice for the lead was Bradley Cooper. However, the studio was not willing to make him an offer and ultimately cast Ryan Reynolds behind Martin Campbell's back. This led to uncomfortable experiences on the set for Reynolds, whose performance was constantly critiqued by Campbell, who made him do many takes. That's probably a lot worse than what that sounds like, because that sounds like boo-hoo. You're an actor, you do multiple takes.
Yeah.
Reynolds has stated in an interview with Variety that the failure of this film at box office was a huge relief, as it was such an unpleasant experience that he dreaded doing it again. That's rough.
That really is. Like, because Reynolds probably had nothing to do... It sounds like the director just got butthurt. It was like, okay, I'm going to make you what I wanted to see in this guy.
Exactly. I could kind of see Bradley Cooper doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, like he was a big fan theory for the Flash, but if both of those two were in the same universe and they both had to play either one of those parts, I would probably go Bradley Cooper, Green Lantern, and then Ryan Reynolds Flash.
Yeah. There was something interesting akin to that. You know what the first biracial on TV kiss was,
right? Star Trek.
Star Trek. It was between Uhura and Captain Kirk. They actually didn't want to do the kiss. It wasn't for any like
the actors didn't, or
yeah, they just didn't want to because they feel like they had no chemistry together. And so what they did, you'll notice that the kiss is really bad, and so they kept trying to mess it up. So they'd say, "Screw it, don't do it anymore."
I need to look that up. It's
fascinating. So funny.
Kilowog derisively states that humans think they're the center of the universe. The Green Lantern comic Blackest Night revealed that Earth was in fact the birthplace of life throughout the whole universe, thus it was metaphorically the center.
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
I thought that was great.
I don't know if they intended that, but that's really funny.
And we do think we're the center of the universe.
Yeah. Sam Worthington and Chris Pine were considered for the role of Hal Jordan. Brian Austin Green, a fan of Green Lantern, campaigned actively to get the role. Bradley Cooper, Justin Timberlake, and Jared Leto also screen tested for the role before finally Ryan Reynolds was cast. As Jordan. Jared Leto would have been interesting. Justin Timberlake is a good actor. We didn't know that at the time, I don't think, though.
Yeah.
I think the one that first showed that he could really, really do well, he had done movies before that, but was The Social Network.
Yeah.
He's fantastic in that. I need to go watch that again. That's really good. Yeah, that's true. That's really true. I don't know who Brian Austin Green is. I should have written that down. I recognize the name, but I can't think to save my life. poor Sam Worthington. For a while, they just wanted to make him a star so bad.
Yeah.
He's in the uh have you seen Terminator Salvation?
Yeah.
I think he was John Connor, if I remember right.
Really?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later. We'll confirm that next week. But the funny thing is, we were mentioning Chris Pine was also was in talks for it this time as well.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see that. He's really good. He's a great Captain Kirk.
Do you think they're gonna give Green Lantern another movie?
It's set for I think 2020. Whether it's going to be necessary. Yeah, so, and that's the one that's called Green Lantern Corps. So we're probably going to get Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. Okay. The dialogue between Jordan and the Guardians of Fear, excuse me, was taken verbatim from the Green Lantern comics Secret Origin by Jeff Johns. We mentioned that earlier. Mm-hmm. Jeff Johns is working on the script for the Batman. I think we said that when we were recording, but God,
yeah,
they're taking this so seriously, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Better.
An early draft of the script contained a cameo by Alan Scott, the first Green Lantern, Jordan's predecessor, whose powers were magical rather than cosmic. Scott was going to use the United States president, and near the end would reveal his own past as a Green Lantern to Jordan and give him his blessing. He was later revised to become an agent of the Checkmate Agency. The Checkmate membership stayed true to the comics, who would approach and offer Jordan membership. Lantern drafts finally wrote him out of the film and replaced him with Amanda Waller. That sounds like a terrible plot. That sounds so convoluted and confusing. Why was the president of the United States ever a Green Lantern? That makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, and there's a spinoff where Black Superman is president. And
that's cool.
No, it really is. It's a nifty. These are all like one-off what-if stories, and it was pretty cool.
Eddie Murphy was considered to play Jon Stewart, another Green Lantern, but this character was ultimately cut from the script.
That would have been hilarious.
I like that ring. That is a nice ring.
That's a nice ring.
Oh, look at this planet. This is nice. Woo. Around June 2006, Robert Smigel had completed a script of the film, which was the comedy adventure, and get this, was to star Jack Black.
Oh, God.
As Judd Plato, an original Lantern whose bravery was defined by eating brains on a TV show. What? However, the studio dropped the script idea due to extremely negative feedback from fans. What?
No, I'm surprised.
What?
Oh, God.
My lord. Hugo Weaving, Jackie Earle Haley, and Jeffrey Rush were considered for the role of Sinestro. Rush went on to voice Green Lantern Tomar-Ray. I could have seen any of those working.
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving was a Red Skull. I know he's done a lot of other stuff. I just can't think. Red Skull
the perpetual villain.
Mm-hmm. And poor Jackie Earle Haley, it just gets terrible. Anything he's in gets bad reviews.
If Hugo Weaving was Sinestro, it'd be the second time he'd be red and evil.
Ooh. Or would it be? It'd be the first because Green Lantern was 2011.
Oh no! Yeah,
and then he would go on to be Red Skull. The primary antagonist in the film was originally going to be the Legion, an alien robot possessing the collective minds of an alien insectoid race. This would have been in keeping with the original comics, where Abin Sur was mortally wounded in a battle with the Legion. However, the Legion was rejected in favor of the fear entity Parallax. It sounds like that might have worked better, and then Parallax is the sequel.
Yeah, Parallax is a very big villain. He's Doomsday Batman. Mm-hmm. He's the Joker to
Batman.
Yeah.
Doomsday to Superman.
But anyway, and they just kind of put him out there. It's like, all right, now you're the bad guy. You're the first one. Like, no. Like, do something a bit better than that.
Yeah. The climactic battle where Hal Jordan sends Parallax into the sun is an homage to the DC comic Final Night, where the sun was dying and a Parallax-possessed Jordan sacrificed himself to reignite it. I gotta read that. That sounds great. Yeah. That sounds really good. Okay, last one. Hal Jordan has an epiphany that fear must not be absent, but overcome. In the comics, it was Green Lantern Kyle Rayner who first realized this truism.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for all of it. All around, it's good.
I thought
it's really, really, it's watchable.
Yeah.
It's not Batman and Robin. That's gonna be our scale. Okay. What are we gonna say? Let's just say, for sake of argument, Batman versus Superman is gonna be the best superhero movie ever.
Okay.
Because judging by the trailers, I think that's where we're going.
All right.
We're gonna use this as our official scale. From Batman and Robin to Batman versus Superman. And
Oh.
we'll have to come up with some middle ones.
It
'Cause
is a,
if Batman versus Superman is if Batman versus Superman is 10, Batman and Robin is 1. What's a good like just decent one? It's not amazing. It's not great. Let's say X-Men. Let's put X-Men in the middle.
Yeah.
So we'll say from Batman and Robin to Batman v Superman. Where would you rate it in the scale?
I would put it 1 above X-Men.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I feel like a lot of people jump on the hate bandwagon
Way too
early and way too hard, and they don't really. They let their prejudgments.
Their friends say it's bad, so they go in thinking it's already a bad movie. So
yeah, if you think something is going to be bad and you go in and see it, it's at least going to be not great.
It's something called the halo effect. Whenever you have an assumption for something, you automatically like if you think something is good, all the good stuff will pop out to you more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting.
Okay, well, I think that's it for for this time.
All right.
So let me try that again. I think that's it for this episode. This actually took quite a bit more time than I thought. I don't know how I thought that we were going to have time for 2 more.
Oh god, no, we wouldn't have.
Yeah, each episode is going to have to be its own segment. So next week, I think I already said that we'll do the whatever the idea that you had about the different adaptations of different. We'll have to decide which one we want to talk about specifically.
Okay.
The week after that, we'll do either Daredevil or Batman Forever, whichever one of the two we decide to do, and then just kind of use the extra free time with news.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we're getting our stride. We're figuring this out slowly but surely. I think every week is a little bit better.
Yeah.
But for right now, I think that's it. If you got anything to plug.
I really don't. I mean, I haven't been on my blog in a while because life is getting in the way.
Yeah, for new listeners, what is that?
A strange professor. It's a Hugo Strange like role play blog. I love it. It's a good creative outlet, but I haven't done anything like I have work.
Yeah,
God knows that takes forever.
Yeah, and I'll throw in my links for stuff on my I almost said Tumblr. I don't have a Tumblr. Twitter, Instagram. You're on my YouTube channel right now, so
yeah.
I'll put that link down in the bottom. I think that's it for episode 4. Until next time, I'm your host, Skylar Clark Kent.
And I'm Jonathan Down. It was nice talking to you all today.
Geek out, everybody.